everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today we are going to head back to that lesson that we have been working on, which was one of the interactive digital literacy lessons on the Black-Liberation.Tech website. And so let's go ahead and head on over to that website so that we can pick up where we left off and see how far we can get today. All right, everyone. So here we are at the Black-Liberation.Tech website. Once again, it is available in both English and Spanish. We're going to head on over to lessons, and from lessons, we will scroll down to interactions, and this is where we have our lessons on digital literacies, and we're going to select D2.0, a story of persistence. Just as a means of review, this image was generated by ChatGPT, and we have gone over the story, and we have gone through 5 different write and reflects of different types of digital literacies. And so we're using my responses that I did as a think aloud in the previous episodes to help us fill in the different parts of the lesson. And so we did use those reflect and write prompts to complete step 1, reflect on your current digital communication and collaboration practices. And so now we are on step 2. We are actually taking a look at these different prompts based on the digital literacies that I selected. And so far we have done 1, 2, and 3, and we're moving on to number 4. And just as a reminder, I am using Janaya GPT, which you can access here on the website, the Black-Liberation.Tech website. Just keep in mind you need an OpenAI account in order to access Janaya GPT. It can be a free OpenAI account. After you're signed into your OpenAI account, go to the website, Black-Liberation.Tech, and select Janaya GPT so that you can pull up the GPT that is handcrafted for Black-Liberation.Tech. Okay, so we're going to go back to Janaya, and I have provided her context. And so I said, thank you, Janaya. I found this information to be helpful to me. At this time, I want to move on to the next digital literacy. Here is the background information for context purposes. And so I provided her with a copy of the transcript where I did my think aloud on reposting. And so I scroll down to the bottom of that transcript, and now I have the instructions for Janaya, and it says, Janaya, here is the prompt on which I want you to take action. The prompt here is what I copied and pasted from the Black-Liberation.Tech website and modified to fit what I want Janaya to do specifically. So here you can see the digital literacy is complaining in the brackets. When we go over to Janaya, you can see that I have replaced complaining with reposting. And I have also selected my professional environment as the environment that I want to take a look at reposting. And I further specify by saying my professional environment as an instructional technologist. So now I'm going to read back my prompt in its full length. And so it says, Janaya, here is the prompt on which I want you to take action. What platforms and tools can I use to implement reposting in a constructive and professional way, especially when dealing with frustrations or challenges in my professional environment as an instructional technologist? So I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And let's see what she has to say. All right. So as you can see, it took her a little bit of time to think about this response. And so it says thought for 32 seconds. And so what I'm going to do once she is done laying it all out, I'm going to copy and paste that into the file that I have my output saved in so that I can keep a copy of it in a place where I can put my finger on it. Yes, Janaya will save the conversation, but as always, just in case, I would like to have another copy so that I can keep it in mind. All right, so here's what Janaya had to say. Love this focus. Here's a practical, calm, under pressure playbook for using reposting constructively and professionally as an instructional technologist. Platforms and how to repost with care. LinkedIn, top choice. Repost, add your thoughts with 2 to 3 bullet context plus question. So the tools that she lists include LinkedIn groups, newsletters, events, ideal for opportunities, calls for participation, and policy updates. Instagram, repost the stories with a short caption that says, add yours, sticker for community examples. Use carousels to add nuance. So, slide one, you have the issue. 2 to 3, you have context. And number 4, you have what works. YouTube community tabs and shorts. Repost clips with permission and add a pinned comment with your instructional takeaway plus a resource link. TikTok, stitch/duet to teach, not shame. Add a 15 to 30-second what to try instead micro demo. Slack/Microsoft Teams internal. Repost articles to a hashtag teach tech or hashtag AI ethics channel with a 3 sentence brief and a rubric/template file. Mastodon/Blue Sky option. Good for policy/ethics conversations. Repost with citations and thread your sources. OER spaces. OER Commons, institutional repositories. Repost your distilled versions, lessons, and in parentheses it says lesson remix and rubric, and add link back to originals with proper licenses. Curation and scheduling tools. So she provides a list of curation and scheduling tools. Those tools will help you to save and organize, schedule, design, create audio and video captions, and then a link hub and tracking. Frustrations and constructive repost flow. So she provides a flow that I can use to help me determine how to go about that tactic. And she also provides an example. CARE checklist for ethical reposting. CARE. C stands for credit the original creator, organization, and license. A stands for add context. What's new? What's at stake for learners? R, respect privacy. No student data, anonymize examples, get consent. E stands for elevate. Elevate the conversation, whether that's a prompt, a template, or next step. Quick templates, swap text. So she provides some templates for me to use that include the header, the context, the action, and credit. Next, she provides reposting a concern and solution using IG carousel. Next, she has reposting research on Slack or Teams. Next, she has reposting community wins on all platforms. So the example she gives is shout out to at X, Y, and Z for open sourcing their rubric. Here's how we adapt it for high school science. Template link inside. All right. And next, we have a few more to go. Boundary and safety guardrails. No screenshots of internal dashboard/emails. Okay. Strip metadata from PDFs/images before reposting. Use content warning, CW, if sensitive. Verify, then trust. Cite the date and the source. Say what's uncertain. All right. Now we have light matrix that matters. So these are the things that I would want to count or keep track of. So the number of saves, meaningful comments, DMs that lead to calls, resource downloads, invitations to collaborate, not just likes. All right. And then she provides a 1 minute weekly workflow. And then she provides a suggestion at the end. If you want, I can turn this into a reposting kit. And that would include Canva templates, caption bank, a notation database for success. Those are the examples. Tailored to Black-Liberation.Tech's brand voice. Okay. So I'm going to thank her for that suggestion and let her know that I'm ready to move on to the next digital literacy so we can finish out this fifth and final digital literacy. Thanks, Janaya. I really appreciate this exchange. of ideas. At this time, I want to move on to the next digital literacy. Here's the background information for context purposes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my transcript and copy what I have for number 5, which is the fifth and final digital literacy, and that is unfollow. So I have my transcript. I'm going to paste it there. And then I'm going to scroll down to grab what I have as the next thing for her to use after she reads the context for unfollow. Janiyah, here is the prompt on which I want you to take action. And so I'm going to go back to Black-Liberation.Tech. I'm copying and pasting this fifth prompt here, and I need to modify it so that instead of banter, we're going to put unfollowing. Here is the prompt that I want her to take action. Janiyah, here is the prompt on which I want you to take action. How can I effectively use unfollowing to build camaraderie and strengthen my relationship with colleagues or classmates online? What are some examples of productive, and I need to edit that, productive unfollowing in a professional context, specifically as an instructional technologist? Now, this one should be interesting because it almost seems like it's the opposite of what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to read it one more time just so you all can hear it in its full length. And so it says, Janiyah, here is the prompt on which I want you to take action. How can I effectively use unfollowing to build camaraderie and strengthen my relationship with colleagues or classmates online? And so what I'll do, I'm going to take out classmates because I'm not in school specifically. But once again, you edit the prompt based upon where you are. And perhaps it is colleagues and classmates for you if you are an active student in professional organizations or even have a job. So, what are some examples of productive unfollowing in a professional context, specifically as an instructional technologist? Let's see what she has to say. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste this into my file so I can have that in a safe place. And let's go ahead and give it a read. Okay, so here is what Janiyah had to say. So good. Here's how to treat unfollowing as a professional relationship strengthening move, not a snub. Use unfollowing to build camaraderie. Number 1, set shared norms. Follow with care note. Tell colleagues your approach up front. You curate feeds for focus and well-being. When people know your why, they're less likely to misread and unfollow. And so she also provides a one-liner for bios slash Slack profiles. I curate a low noise feed for deep work. If I miss your update, ping me directly. I value your collaboration. So I like that example. Number 2, prefer mute for proximity, unfollow for scope. All right, so let's take a look at what she means by that. Mute equals preserve the connection. DMs open, tags still land while protecting focus during busy cycles. Unfollow, reduce algorithm drift, content that isn't your domain, so you can engage more meaningfully on shared topics. Pair unfollow with a new bridge. When you unfollow a colleague's high volume personal feed, add them to a smaller, purposeful space. Teams channel, list, newsletter. Camaraderie grows when you replace noise with better pathways. Here's a script that I could use. I moved most of my social feed to low noise, but I added you to our hashtag ID lab channel so I don't miss project updates. Number 4, use lists and circles to show care. Create ID instructional design core team, faculty champions, accessibility / UDL list, You can unfollow generally while still checking lists weekly. Colleagues see thoughtful engagement in the threads that matter. Number 5, close the loop with direct appreciation. After curating, send 2 quick DMs a month. Saw your syllabus accessibility tip via the list. Brilliant. Mind if I repost with credit? Unfollowing becomes a focused strategy that fuels praise, not distance. All right, so here's the next set of steps that I could take. Productive unfollowing, instructional technology scenarios. A, LMS migration season for deep work. Action, mute or unfollow high volume lifestyle or unrelated tech accounts for 6 to 8 weeks. Replacement, join a private Teams channel, hashtag LMS go live. Subscribe to vendor release notes. Fewer misses, faster responses to faculty. Colleagues appreciate your availability. Next, avoiding perceived favoritism. Action. Unfollow student accounts you advise. Follow program or department accounts instead. Replacement. Offer an open office hours link for all. Outcome. Maintains equitable boundaries while keeping support accessible. Next, de-escalation during policy debates. Action. Unfollow threads that spiral hot takes on AI policy to avoid reactive replies. Replacement. Post a neutral, resource-rich brief in the instructional channel with a listening session invite. Outcome. You model steadiness. Colleagues feel safer engaging with you directly. Next, reducing algorithm bias in your intake. Action. Unfollow one-sided sources. Follow curated, diverse, instructional design, or UDL voices via list. Replacement. Monthly. What I'm reading. Share out citing Black, Afro-Latina, and Latina experts. Outcome. Better designs, visible allyship, stronger trust. All right, and the last one for this section, protecting privacy while staying supportive. Action. Unfollow personal accounts that reveal student data or sensitive workplace details. Replacement. DM a gentle nudge and share a privacy checklist. Here's a script that she provides. Hey, flagging that yesterday's post might expose student info, sharing our quick privacy guide. Happy to help edit. All right, and then we have a few more to go. Etiquette and scripts. No drama, all love. Gentle heads up, optional. I'm doing a digital cleanse for deep work. If you see less of me in your feed, it's just me curating. I'll keep up with your project updates via our hashtag instructional design channel. Boundary with care. I keep personal and work feeds separate to protect student privacy and my focus. DM or email is the fastest way to reach me about courses. Re-engage intentionally. I don't follow broadly, but I created an accessibility wins list. If you tag me on a teaching tip, I'll add it and boost it from our OER page. Tiny Toolkit. In the Tiny Toolkit, she provides lists/collections, mute tools, calm post templates, and a monthly ritual, which should take 15 minutes. In the next section, she has what to document on your resume/portfolio. Okay. Implemented a feed curation protocol, mute/list, that cut notification noise 60% during LMS migration, improves faculty turnaround time from 72 hours to 24 hours. And then another bullet point would be maintain equity by shifting from following individual students to program channels, launched open office hours, increasing support access by 40%. So one of the things that you'll see from Janiyah is in this output is that there's an opportunity to add this digital literacy to my resume with measurable performance indicators or KPIs, key performance indicators. All right, Liberation Lens reminder, unfollowing is stewardship, protecting your energy so you can show up for community. Curate with purpose, replace with better channels, and follow up with gratitude. That's how boundaries become bridges. All right. Thank you, Janiyah. That was great. Now, what I'm going to do is move on to this next step in the lesson, step number 3, finding role models in digital communication and collaboration. Use platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, or other professional spaces to identify Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women who excel in digital communication and collaboration in your field of interest. So in my case, it would be instructional technology, AI literacy, digital literacy, and the like. Look for role models who can inspire you in how to enhance your own communication skills. And so this section has some guiding questions to help you. And once again, you can always edit them based on your specific interests. So here's one guiding question. Search for Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in, and I'll say instructional technology, in your discipline or profession who use digital platforms to share insights, interact with others, and promote their work. How do they engage their audience and foster professional relationships online? Okay, so we did it before with each digital literacy in the reflect and write section of this lesson. And this one is asking you to go to specific platforms. So when we did it the first time, I just did a simple Google search. This time, you will actually search on a specific platform, so like LinkedIn, Instagram, and the like, in order to find the examples. Here's the next guiding question. Who are the top Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in tech, business, or education? Please insert the field that applies. Who excel in whatever digital literacies you want to explore. In the example, it says talk, tweeting, reposting, or another skill for innovative projects. The last guiding question says find Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women who are recognized for their thought leadership and influence through online platforms. What strategies do they use to communicate their ideas and build a following? So, what you can do, you can copy and paste these guiding questions and add LinkedIn or Instagram or X or TikTok, whichever platform you want to explore, to that guiding question in a search engine. So you can go to the search engine and do this and identify the platform you want to look through, or you can go to the actual social media platform and then put this information in the search bar and see what you come up with. All right, step 4, examples of how to communicate and collaborate online. How to communicate online. So we have number 1, use email or messaging apps for clear professional communication. Engage with video conferencing tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams for more personal and interactive conversations. Number 3, participate in online forums or discussion groups like LinkedIn or Slack to expand your professional network and exchange knowledge. Number 4, build an online presence through platforms like X or LinkedIn to stay informed and share ideas. So these are examples of actions you can take that will help you with communicating and collaborating online. So that first one was communicating online. Now let's take a look at how to collaborate online. Share files and collaborate on documents using cloud-based tools. For example, Google Drive or Dropbox. Use project management software, for example, Trello or Asana, to organize tasks and track progress. Number 3, participate in virtual brainstorming sessions or workshops to contribute ideas and solve problems together. Number 4, foster a team-oriented mindset by encouraging open dialogue and feedback in virtual spaces. All right, now let's take a look at step 5, conclusion and next steps. Number 1, review your insights from the lesson. Reflect on how you can start applying these new digital literacies to enhance your communication and collaboration skills. Number 2, set goals for the next few weeks to focus on the digital literacies you want to expand. Create a personal development plan to integrate these skills into your school or work projects. Number three, practice regularly by engaging with people in your field or joining online communities. Experiment with new platforms or tools to see how they can enhance your communication or collaboration efforts. Number four, track your progress and adjust your approach based on the feedback and results you receive. You will also have identify role models who demonstrate excellence in these areas, and you will be prepared to expand and develop these skills further. So, we finally wrapped up lesson D 2.0, A Story of Persistence. We persisted through that lesson. It took a few takes, but that's okay. We got through it, and I know I learned more about how to take action in order to enhance my digital literacies. I was able to do so by partnering with Janaya GPT and providing her with context, so those reflect and write responses that I completed. I was able to provide her with that information as context for each digital literacy, as well as provide her with instructions. So the prompt that was tailored based on my digital literacy as well as my profession. And in response, I was able to get responses that are actionable. I can take action and enhance and expand and advance my digital literacies based on what I do in my profession. And I must say, she did a good job in providing me with a broad range of things to do. It would take me a very long time to complete each and everything. But what I can do, since I saved the output she generated, I can pick and choose how to engage. Which ones do I want to use? Which ones do I want to share with others? How can I make use of unfollowing in order to enhance camaraderie? I thought that was pretty cool and a good one to end on. So, once again, thank you for listening to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.